G'day, Michael here. Today I'm going to present to you a new knife that Christian has just done a review on at exactly the same time I received this in the mail, and this watch was really cheap and it looked quite good. And after getting it, you'll have to excuse me if I'm swiping a few mosquitoes because they're out and about at this time of year. It comes with I paid around 20 Australian dollars, which is incredible value, considering I didn't realise that MKC was actually a proper brand. And I just bought it thinking it was just a Chinese brand, but it's not. It's a fake knife of a knife that actually costs over $400 US, which is in Magna Cut, against a $20 knife that we have here. And I've got to say, this feels quite heavy in the hand. So this here, I don't know what it is exactly, but it feels quite tough. It doesn't feel plasticky at all. It feels quality and heavy. So I'm not even going to replace this with wood because it just feels solid and good. So I don't know what it is. Whether it's G10 and it's just a really well done G10 and we're just not used to it in Chinese knives, but it feels excellent. Sorry, I'm going to drive you crazy, but these mosquitoes are going to get to me. Should have sprayed myself. Feels really good in the hands. And these scallops here, so I'm not going to do a full review, but these scallops are actually a really good design element because it allows you to get a sharpener right up to that edge in here, and it just glides over that. So if that was solid across there, you'd be hitting it with your stone and make it a lot harder to get to that edge because the choil is only small. It is a pretty good sharpening choil, but just having that wedge, you can get a stone right up to that edge quite comfortably. So that is a good design, and also if you've got it in a pinch grip, it works really well. So yeah, it's a fake, so I'll probably end up deleting the video unless it performs really badly in the cut test. I'm going to do a cut test on it just to see how the steel goes. It advertises 8cr, which is pretty good value for a $20 knife that feels this solid, this good in the hand and this well made. Even the coating, as Christian has said, feels like a quality coating. It's not just a black paint that you get put on by the Chinese companies that just scrapes off within seconds. It actually feels like a proper coating. So what I did was I ground down the edge to get rid of any fatigued edge from the factory sharpening, and I redid the edge to give it a fighting chance. If it performs badly, I know it's not just that it's a factory edge. Obviously, the more sharpenings, the better. And it's to an 800 grit, which is good enough for our test today. So, yeah, it really feels like a quality knife for 20 bucks. It's just amazing value if it performs. So just to give you a benchmark again, good D2 steel gets about 100 cuts to 120 cuts. Poor D2 like Kershaw gets about 70 cuts. 5cr would get about, I think it's about 30 cuts. So yeah, we'll just see how this one goes today. And I think actually Ganzo 440 I think got 70 cuts as well. So let's get going and just see how we go on this factory edge and just see how it performs with the cutting. So it's starting off quite nicely, just on 3 cuts. That doesn't mean much. Where a company gets off at charging over $400 for Magna Cut is just unreal. I just cannot understand that. Alright, that's the first 10 cuts. So it is very much a fake knife. I thought maybe at first they actually get them made in China and then ship them over, but after looking at the actual company's site, obviously with the steel type Magna Cut, which we assume it is Magna Cut, alright, no problems there. It's a fake, a very good fake. The only thing saving it really is the fact that you can only get it from the official site. You can't pick this up on Amazon or something like that. So you're not going to buy this as the real thing online somewhere. Well, if you do, you're certainly being easily scammed. You shouldn't get scammed on this knife. If someone's selling it second hand, maybe then you might get scammed, but you'd be silly to buy it second hand when they're doing copies. And I thought at first the handles, see there's concentric circles in here, and I thought at first that this being the fake didn't have that, but they've actually copied that into it as well. So you've got to think that maybe this is G10, and that's the grain that's just come out with the grinding sanding process. So it's definitely not just your standard plastic. 10 cuts. I know I'm repeating myself, but you just got to really feel the grip to know what I mean. Christian, you'll know what I mean. The way that this grip's designed too, that bit there, you can kind of come right back here and put a lot of pressure quite easily, or you can come up, there's no jimping along here, or you can come right up here and put pressure on, but it actually feels comfortable to grab it with your finger over the end like that, just to give you extra purchase. Right, so that's 20. And the light at this time of afternoon is not real good. But there's no problems there. Or is there? Maybe it's starting to tear. Oh, okay. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Well, it is time. Almost got through. Yeah. It's gone. Yeah, it's tearing there. So, all right, that's not real good. 20 cuts. What I'm going to do is go and resharpen it. And I'm going to put a 3000 edge on it. And just see if I can get a bit better than just 20 cuts. That's pretty dismal. Feels and looks really good, but 20 cuts, that's not good enough. Yeah, it's definitely tearing. Bummer. All right, we'll see you back soon. So I've resharpened this, and we shall do the cut test again with the new edge, which I will just show you. And I'll get up to 20 cuts, and then I'll restart the video just to see if the 3000 edge makes any difference. All right, so done 20 cuts, and well, yeah, I can see lights on it again after 20. So looks like we're catching again. That one was almost okay, but it's just not going through. That one did. Right, so we've got a couple there. It's pretty close to being out, so I'll do 5 more and check it. Still cutting it right though. Probably the concave edge, that's the grind that's doing it. Okay, that's 5. It's definitely getting harder to cut. And I'm definitely seeing a couple of spots along there. Let's have a look. And that's where we're getting the hang up. Yeah. Definite big hang up there. So 25 cut. It wasn't so bad. Yeah. I might get one cut, but the majority of them will be bad. Yeah, see? Oh, that one got it, but it teared at the end. Yeah. Right, there we go, 25. So, look, to be honest, even though this feels like a good knife, you know, if they made this in 9cr13 for just $10 more, it would be a really good knife. For $30, even $40 if they use a good steel, man, I would love this knife. I really would, because it feels fantastic. But, and I'm going to do my big dramatic stab here. Cross my arms. I'm done with these cheap knives because you're just getting this woeful performance in the end, and it's just not worth it. So I will show this video because this is a fake knife, and as good as it seems, everything about it, the steel is just very substandard. It's too soft. 8cr, I very much doubt that. There's no way to perform on 25 cuts if it was 8cr. And so it's just disappointing, and I'm done. I'm done with the cheap knives. I've got a couple of more expensive knives coming. I don't know how long it's going to take from Focuser Carvings. I'm just waiting for those to come, and that's it. I'm done. I'm done, because how many more knives am I going to... Tips are right. How many more knives am I going to test with this substandard poor performance, even when they feel good and they look great, and they're just not performing? But what I did get out of this is a good sheath and a good ulti-clip, a good feeling knife that I can probably give away to someone, and it's going to look pretty good. And yeah, really, the sheath and the ulti-clip is worth 20 bucks to me, almost. And unfortunately, it's just not performing. So there you go. I can't really advise that you stick with the real thing, because $400 is ludicrous. It's just not going to be worth that, but people will pay it. I'd love to get the real thing to test the performance. You'd want to be in the hundreds of cuts for that amount of money. That's for sure. I'd hate to even think how much Australian that is. 600 and plus. Ridiculous. So what could have been a really good, solid knife has been let down by a substandard and poor steel. And oops, that's the end of the video. Goodbye and God bless.